Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to the next part of the Ultimate Skaven breakdown, where I'm going to go over the campaign stuff which he has added on. When I say he has, he can be named. He's not the person that can't be named. Who is the person that can't be named? We don't know, we can't name him. Got ya. Right, this is the mod done by SteelBlade. He also did Ultimate Chaos, which is an amazing mod, and I will be going back to it shortly because he's got it working for Total War 2, Mortal Empires. So you can play the Ultimate Chaos mod with all the 4 Chaos gods in this massive world. But enough of that, we're focusing on the Skaven one, which is a project he's been working on. It's still in the early stages, so he's only added a few little bits, so couple of quick videos, one for the custom battles I've already done and one for the Mortal Empires. So what's the main thing that stands out here? Well, from here you can see we have slaves now for the Skaven. And before you guys jump on going over, slaves shouldn't be in games, you know, Dark Elves have slaves, not the Skaven. The Skaven Empire rely on slaves so much that they have a unit called Skaven Slaves, funnily enough, and is actually a key part of the Skaven tactics and armies. So the fact that they've got a slave mechanic now actually makes sense. I believe it's exactly the same as the Dark Elves. It makes sense to just copy them. As you can see, I've done, this is turn 4 of my campaign. I just quickly threw this together so I could show you guys what he's added. So you've got the slaves there, the slave token there. As you can see, it is a matter you get income from it, but they cause public disorder. You've got the options here. Of course, if you don't know how the Dark Elves work, to be fair, I've not actually played the Dark Elves campaign, so I have no idea. I assume it's the same. But as you can see, you start with so many in each province. Sorry, it's a region. Is it a region into a province, or province into, it's a region in a province? I know what I'm on about. Yeah, province, yeah. So it's regions in a province, so it's all done by provinces. I know what I'm talking about. Well done, Shadow. As you can see, as you win battles, you gain slaves, and they get spread out evenly amongst them. But what you can do is do it that a settlement will get 3 times its normal set, or to tell it to stop. Because you can see they cause massive disorder problems. Well, I say that, actually it's only -2 and -1. I think it's -22 and 12 because of the fact that I've already just conquered them, and I'm Skaven. I'm not good at leading, let's be honest. So yeah, so they have a slide, but they do affect income quite nicely as well. So yes, you do have slaves, and the slaves do actually affect buildings. So we'll get onto that. Should get on now, really, shouldn't I? So obviously you've got the slave tab there now, which is a great little mechanic. So when you capture or, you know, raid places, you can get slaves. If you raise the city, you don't get any. And I've just noticed as well, he's done a lovely little addedness into the tab thing there. That's very nice, that. The fact that it's right there, so you can control exactly what you want when you need to. So, building-wise, yeah, exactly. First of all, the Clan Wars headquarters is now split into 2. I don't believe that was the case. I always thought it was 1. I could be wrong. I thought it was only, but he's now done that. There's a second one. You get a tier 3, and that gives you the warp fire thrower. If you notice in the name there, Steel in brackets, and this is purely where he's still developing it, and it means he's done something to it, either copied it or used it or something, or made changes to it. So ignore that for the purposes of this video, and should probably mention that in the previous video. But yeah, it don't actually mean anything special. It's purely, I asked him myself, and he said it is purely for him doing the programming and the modding. So yeah, you have to get the second group to then move up to the warp fire throwers. So a bit interesting there. Obviously got normal resources, I believe. There's nothing different there. Buildings. In regards to this, yeah, so these require different buildings. Yeah, okay then. Now the reason I'm checking, there you go. We've got the Clan Skyer Insider Contacts, which I don't think was a thing before. I think it was over 3 tiers, but he's got it over 2 now. So the first one gets you the Warfire Foe and the Poison Wing Bombardier, and then you've got the Doom Glow Bombardiers and the Doom Rocket Brigade now. But if you look on there, requires technology research, huge bribes to Clan Scree. I'll go over that in a minute because that's all to do with research. So as you can see, he's split it up a little bit. I'm just seeing exactly what's been split into what, but yeah, so that's something to take note of. Same here. This guy you can't get until you get the technology to bribe Clan Moda, which is quite funny. Also, in tier 2 is when you can get the Masterful Plague Claw Catapult Battery, so that's when you get 9 of them. And obviously the top tier, you get the Great Kill Death Warp Cannon Battery, so that's when you get 9 batteries of 9 Warp Lightning Cannons in a single unit. So yeah, that's the standard there. Normal barricades there, I believe. Is that normal? Yeah, I believe so. And then you've got... Now, this looks a lot bigger. I believe the Skaven normally only have 4 of these, 4 or 5 of these. And yet, look at all the ones he's got here. So we're going to go through which ones he's added or changed. So the first one along is the Under Empire Tunnels. So, costs 1,000, takes 2 turns to get, and you have to be tier 3 to use it. But as it says in the quote on the top left, all tunnels lead to Skaven Blight. So it gives you 40 income. The campaign movement range is 15% for armies that start in that region. So if you want your guys to move across regions really quickly, boom, you've got that. Income from trade, plus 1% trade agreement tariffs, faction-wide. You've got casualty replacement rate, goes up by 2%. You even have a better chance of evading people in the underway by 20%. Because obviously you're using your own tunnels. Also, it provides a little garrison of 1 unit of clan rats. I assume they're just there protecting the main tunnel to the Ender Empire. Next, we have chain gangs, and this chain group is all about the slaves and how you use them. So, chain gangs, I'm not going to read all that though because there's loads of it, and each one's got like a full paragraph in each. So, obviously, you can either pause the video, have a look, or get the mod yourself and have a look and have a little mess around. But as you can see this, income generated per 100 slaves in the province, 5. So, I assume that means for every 100 you get an extra 5 gold. Could be wrong there. But also, income from slaves plus 5%. So, I think it goes up by 5, then goes up by 5% of the total of what they bring. It'd be great if SteelBlade could clarify that for me, the exact maths behind that. Comment below, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, and that gives you a unit of Skaven slaves. You then go to the next tier, which is I just realised I didn't cover that. 3 turns to get, 750. In tier 2. At tier 3, it's 1,500 and takes 5 turns to build. And this does it that the income generated by slaves in the province goes to 10, and it's 10%. But the slave decline rate goes by 25. And the slave public order penalty goes down by 10%. So I'm just trying to work out if that means that the decline rate means they go 25% quicker. And the public order either goes down by 10%, so it's less likely, or doesn't mean it goes down by 10%, so you're more likely to get a rebellion. I don't really know the maths behind all this game. I don't get that sort of thing. So again, if you guys understand that, please comment below so I can fully understand. Is it a matter that the decline goes down, but so does the public order, or is it the chances of a public order, like a riot, civil war, whatever, rebellious army spawns is less by 10%? Comments below, but as you can see there, so that really ups that up. And of course, the final one, a tier 5, can I do maths? Yes, tier 5, 5 turns to go, 3,000 gold. As you can see, a huge jump there, 15 per 100 slaves in the province, and income from slaves in there is up by 25%, but the slave decline rate is minus 50, and the slave public order penalty is minus 20%. And you can see if you get that one, your garrison gains 2 Skaven slaves instead of just the 1. So next we've got, now this is one we all know of, but I recognise that icon, but this is slightly changed. As you can see, it's a huge chain of 5 buildings now, so the biggest one here. So as you can see, you've got slave wheels, so it cannot be constructed in minor settlements. The income from all buildings goes up by 60%, all regions in the province, so obviously you only need to put this in your capital for that province to benefit for all of it. But the slave decline rate up by 20%. So as I see that, this causes more to die. That means less die. Sorry, that one. As in, because you got slightly better conditions for them, they last longer, and they're less likely to rebel. Like I said, you guys will have to comment. But as you can see, Skaven corruption goes up by 1 as well. So if we go, that is 750 gold, and it goes up in the next turn. 2 turns, 1500. Income from all buildings, 70%. The slave decline rate is 4 plus 40%. Then 3 turns for 3000 gold. It ups all the income by 80%, but the slave decline rate is plus 60%. And then for 4 turns, 4,500 gold. As you can see, 90%. Slave decline rate plus 80%. And finally, the one we all sort of know, 5 turns, 6,750. It unlocks the plans within plans, so very important. All your buildings get 100% of the income, and the slave decline rate is plus 100%. So that means, does it drop by 100, or is it they're more likely to survive? Like I said, I don't fully understand the maths, because sometimes what's a plus is a negative, what's a negative is a plus, and back to front. So comments below would really appreciate that. Here we've got foraging parties, and these are ones where it's all about people going out and getting food for you. Huge deal for the Skaven, because sometimes if you can't find any cities that have crops, food, you're stuffed. There's nothing you can do. But this, it costs 1 turn, 750 gold, but the maintenance is minus 100 gold a turn. But it can't be constructed in minor settlements, and it generates 1 food and plus 2 public order. But casualty replenishment rate goes down by 2%, and income from all buildings by 10%. So that is a lot. Really, you want to put that in a settlement? I would put that in a military settlement. A military province, sorry. So I have provinces to do different jobs. Like the capital in my campaign I'm playing at the moment, this is a military one. Like, they've just got all the buildings for all the top military stuff. So I would put the food in there, because then the whole, oh, you lose income from... See, is that all buildings completely, or that province? Because if that's income from all buildings map-wide, or is it just for that city? Because again, if it's just for that city, which I would have thought it would be, because it normally map-wide, it says map-wide. If it's just for that city it's in, then, like I said, I would put that in one where you've got all military structures, because then it doesn't really matter too much. And casualty replenishment rate, again, you would mostly send those guys to build an army and send them out. You wouldn't be worried about coming back. Anyway, we go to the next tier, which is for tier 3, 2 turns, 1500. As you can see, it costs 100. I don't know if that adds to that, or if it's always 100, or as it becomes 200 a turn. Could become 200 because it generates 2 food a turn. Public order goes up by 3, and as you see, the income from all buildings and casualty replenishments drop as well. And of course, they add Skaven and corruption, of course. And this one, the top tier, 3 turns, 3,000 gold. As you can see, maintenance cost 100, but food generated 4. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Public order plus 4 as well. But as you see, casualty replenishment rate and income from all buildings drop. So it's up to you, really. Now this one, I'm pretty sure it didn't have every stage. I'm pretty sure it was just 3 bells, but I think they have. He's done different artwork for it. Maybe I just don't know the Skaven that well. I know they have the Temple of the Horned One and the Bell Foundry. I know that, but I'm not sure about the Overseer's Locker and the Taskmaster plan. I'm pretty sure there's a 3rd, but I didn't think there was a 4th. I could be wrong though. But yeah, so he's added that on as well. So let's go over to research, where I believe that's the final thing in. Because we've gone through units, we've gone through, yeah, I believe that is the final thing. So we'll go to the research. Now, I actually compared it side by side because I didn't want to be a complete idiot and get it wrong. But, he's mainly added to the end. All of this is identical apart from one. This final one here for ingenious plans. Global Warp Bomb. Packing the clan rush with explosive bombs to plant on the enemy positions is a lethal, if expensive and difficult practice, especially for the clan rush. Army abilities, all forces have Skaven Warp Bomb, which I believe is the one where if you're, you know, you can send them in and they all have an ability where they will actually explode. So you could just send in, what gets me is, could you do that with slaves? If that's all forces, It'd be amazing if you could just do a slave front wave. They just run in, do some damage, and then they all explode. At which point the clan rats then come in and finish them off. So the problem is, at the very bottom of the chain, you won't be able to now until you've obviously got all of this. So that'll take a while to get to. But also this little bottom corner, like he did for the Chaos, where you had each god. This one he's done that the different clans you have to bribe to get the stuff. So you got established nefarious contracts, which raises diplomatic relations of all Skaven by 6. You then have 3 paths to follow. So we'll go from top to bottom. Bribes to clan scree. So yeah, that's pretty much allows upkeep minus 10% for all clan scree units, unit experience for warpfire throwers, poison one bombardiers, and death globe bombardiers units recruits, so they gain 1 experience. And the recruitment time is -1 for those units. I reckon, I don't know if he's in there, but I assume surely the new rocket guys would get a discount as well, and experience. Don't know, maybe he's putting that in, or it just doesn't appear in the text, and it does. Be great to hear. As you can see, 6,000 for that, though, quite a bit, and then 10,000 huge bribes to clan scree. So upkeep is now -15% for clan scree units. Hero recruit +2 for warlock engineers and +2 for the unit experience. It also unlocks the death globe bombardiers and the doom rocket brigade. That's the one, the doom rocket brigade. Surely that the cheapness would affect them as well. Comment below, it'd be great to know. Then you got the bribes to the Council of 13. This is upkeep -5 for all units, which is amazing. Diplomatic relations goes up by 9 with all Skaven. Lord recruit goes up by 1 when you recruit a lord, and the recruitment capacity goes up permanently by 1. So very powerful one there, and huge bribes to the Council of 13. 10% off all units, and I assume they stack as well. Also +13 for all Skaven. You get +2 to the lord, and it's just +1 to the recruitment capacity. Finally, bribes to clan moder, which is more what I'll go for because I like my rat ogres. So -10% for clan moder units. When you think most clan moder units are really expensive, that's a big drop, 10%. Also plus experience for the rat ogres and hellpit abominations, and reduces the recruitment time by 1 for those units, which is a big deal. Huge bribes to clan moder, -15% for them, +2 for the experience, and that allows you to get the hellpit abomination. So you have to get that. So the hellpit abomination, yeah, time you get to him, he's got to be really powerful. But it's going to cost you so much just to research that. And of course, get the buildings as well. You will have to go up the chain of getting the buildings. So yeah, look how much that costs. That's a lot. That's a lot of yeah. But they're worth it. We know they are. So I believe that covers everything to know. The slaves, the research, the new buildings. As you can see, I'll be up the orcs because I can do that now. Yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you all for tuning in. Obviously, do not forget to check out SteelBlade's Steam page. There you can get this mod and all the other mods like Ultimate Chaos, which the Ultimate Chaos is pretty much a finished product now. So I definitely jump onto that. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this one, a close eye on it, because I reckon there's going to be more coming along, more getting added as time goes on. But as you tell me, it's in a playable state now, and it's got enough to make it worth playing it. Check out his YouTube channel, Really Big Hammer. There'll be links in the description for his stuff, so don't forget to check that out. And of course, don't forget to like this video if you like seeing mods and that sort of thing. I mean, maybe it's a direction I'll start going. It's looking at all different mods of Total War Warhammer 2. You know, how does it affect the game? How does it change things? It could be an interesting series, so do comment below if that's something you want to pursue, and obviously like the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've noticed the numbers are starting to climb back up again. We had a few days of nothing, and then we're suddenly climbing again. So let's keep that going, because it'd be so funny if by the time I'm ready to do what was meant to be my 100 subscriber video, we're at 200. That'd be hilarious. So let's see if we can get to that. And I would like to thank you all for tuning in and for your time and listening. I really much appreciate it. So I hope to see you next time in the next video. Until then, take care.